Hello, you are listening to Eye on Sci-Fi Podcast, the podcast where we share with you terrific indie science fiction and fantasy, online short films, web series, and other closely related media. We also on occasion have conversations with the talented filmmakers who are creating terrific indie speculative work. I am your host, Rod Faulkner. Thank you for joining me. And in this episode, I'm going to share with you a medium that is not really invested in anymore. And it kind of makes me sad, but I'm also excited for the prospect of reintroducing it to you all. And that medium is the medium of science fiction and fantasy web series. Web series are different from what we now know as streaming series because web series were very popular in the late 90s, early 2000s, on up until, I would say, the mid 2010s. And a web series is video, usually episodic, that can be either scripted or non scripted, that was made specifically for the web. Now, how they differ from streaming content is that web series overwhelmingly were produced by independent filmmakers who often had limited budgets, but they were long on imagination and vision. And a couple of celebrities began their careers by creating web series, namely Felicia Day. She created a very popular web series about online gaming called The Guild. And then Issa Rae created a web series called Awkward Black Girl, which was her call to fame, and that led to her creating the series Insecure on HBO. But for many reasons, web series are not really in vogue any longer, and independent filmmakers are not concentrating their time in producing them. My personal belief for this is that web series take a lot of time and are very resource heavy versus making an independent short film and putting that online. And short films also can serve as a calling card for filmmakers who want to get their foot in the door in Hollywood. But web series, again, they're more time and resource intensive. And in science fiction and fantasy, they just aren't made that much anymore. But the ones that were made, there were many that were outstanding gems. And one example is the fantasy web series, Here We Wait. This is an intriguing fantasy sci-fi web series about purgatory. And purgatory actually takes the form of a mysterious restaurant by the name of Here. Here. And think of Here as a way station where souls of the newly deceased assemble before transitioning to their eternal destiny. Here We Wait is 20 episodes, and it is focused on the interpersonal relationships between the restaurant staff, souls from all walks of life, time periods, and ideologies whose true purpose is to ease their spectral patrons' transitions into their afterlife. However, an unknown element has been introduced to the restaurant, throwing the cosmic scales dangerously out of balance. The staff must investigate the cause of this imbalance before catastrophe strikes. Unlike dense, impenetrable sci-fi dramas that explore similar themes like Lost, The OA, and The Leftovers, Here We Wait is refreshingly straightforward and accessible. There is no Byzantine mythology to navigate, no murky plot twists and red herrings introduced in an attempt to seem pretentiously profound. The restaurant here is purgatory. Its staff are deceased souls ruminating on their previous lives while confronting and waiting for their unknown futures. Series co-creators Olivia Baptista and Diane Chen have populated their project with compelling and fascinating characters portrayed by a cast of talented, charismatic young actors. There were 20 episodes of Here We Wait released on YouTube, and of course, a link to where you can watch the entire web series will be included in the show notes of this episode. When you visit the show notes of the episode, you will also be taken to our link tree, and there you can visit our website, the7thmatrix.com, where we have collected a plethora of independently produced science fiction and fantasy online short films, web series, and other closely related media, and you will also find our archive of creator interviews as well. While you're visiting our link tree, I ask that you leave us a review and rating wherever you get your podcast, because that does help others find us, and we appreciate that. Also, we do need to ask for your financial support, because without it, we wouldn't be able to do the work that we do on Ion Sci-Fi Podcast and over at the7thmatrix.com, and trust, we appreciate all of this a great deal. Okay, everyone, that's it for this episode. And again, thank you for joining me. And until next time, remember to take a break, escape the mundane, and enter the fantastic. Take care.